Hi guys, this is homework number 26, problem 18. Here we need to factor this expression. By the way, this is not called an equation, it's just an expression because there's no equal sign here, right? So it's called an expression, not an equation. Now when we factor, when I see four terms, and there's no common factor here, there's no greatest common factor, so therefore you're going to try group factor by grouping. Different ways to group. Maybe many of you would group this together and then this together, so we'll try that. So therefore I'm going to group x cubed plus 8x squared together. Well, I will not just write this way. This is really confusing because if you write two parentheses, by default in math, we think this is a multiplication, which is not okay, right? So therefore, if you group like that, I strongly encourage you to write the addition in between. So basically this group plus this group, okay? Do not skip this addition. Now you're going to try to factor the greatest common factor of each group. So the first one is going to be x squared because the constant here 1 and 8, this 1 is the greatest common factor. There's nothing you can factor out. And for the x squared and x cubed, the greatest common factor is x squared, so that should be factored out. And you're left with 8x plus 8. For the second group, I want to factor the negative 2 out, okay, negative 2. So I'm going to plus, you factor out the negative 2, right? So sometimes I just plus the minus. Sometimes I just skip this plus, but I'm going to just write it for now. So when negative 2 is factored out, the first term you have, you're left with x. The second term you have, you're left with positive 8. Reason, when you factor out negative 2, basically you are dividing each term by negative 2. So this guy, negative 2x divided by negative 2, you're going to get x. Negative 16 divided by negative 2, you get positive 8. So this is one way to look at that. The other way is, whenever you factor out a negative sign, a negative number, the sign will always change, right? So here originally it was positive. Now after you factor out the negative number, it should be positive. And when originally this was negative, now it should be positive. So therefore this is what you have. Now of course, plus the negative 2 times this guy, which is the same as minus. Okay, so now I can erase that. Simply change this to minus 2 times. So minus 2 times that. Okay. I hope that you're fine. Maybe I'm not gonna erase that. Maybe I'll just duplicate it and then rewrite it. Okay. So now I should rewrite it as minus 2. So basically, this plus the negative 2 times this guy is the same as minus 2 times this guy. Now, time for me to factor the x plus 8 out. So x plus 8 should be factored out. And I'm left with x squared, which is coming from right there, right? Because this is moved out. Now similarly, this is moved out. What are you left with? You are left with minus 2. All right, this is how I would solve this problem by grouping. This is just one way. Some other people may group like that. These two group together and these two group together. It should work. You're welcome to try.